Hi, my name is Dr. Martin Filippino, and this is Ksk Cold Spray. This is going to be a little instructional video on how to use it, how to actually spray it, and a few other topics. Before we jump into that, just a little overview of Ksk, in case you're new to the website. Ksk is an all-natural germicidal spray that kills germs on contact, especially viruses. You spray it in the nose, mouth, and throat, and most people, 75% of people, in 1 to 2 days get rid of their cold or flu symptoms. But part of its success is about proper spraying, and so that's what we're going to get into today. So, when you get Ksk spray, it's going to come like this in a little package that's sealed, and you've got to load the sprayer in. In order to store Ksk properly, you have to have the black cap on and not the sprayer. So you obviously just pull it off, stick it in, screw it in. Doesn't have to be super tight. And then always, very important, prime it into the air. A couple big squirts and you're good to go. And then when you start using Ksk, and we'll get into the actual details of the spraying cycles. That's what we call them, spraying cycles. This is just about using the sprayer tip correctly. Males, in our typical ape dog-like manner, like to take nasal sprayers and jam it way up in the nose. If you do that with Ksk, you will curse me because you're going to spray it into your tear duct. It'll go right up into your eye and it's going to burn. So what you do with Ksk is you just barely insert it into the nostril, and then you close off one side and breathe in and then hit it. And you do 2 squirts on each side, you go to the other side, breathe it in 2 times, and then you do 2 in the mouth. Now the mouth is trickier than it sounds. You have to move enough airflow to get it to coat the back of your throat and your mouth. If you just open your mouth and breathe like that, it doesn't really go anywhere. So a technique that works really good is you look down a little bit, and then you put your teeth on the sprayer, and then hit it. When your teeth are open, the thickness of the sprayer, you can move enough air quickly so it hits the back of your throat. So you do a couple squirts like that, you exhale, and then spray it. Same thing again, exhale, and then spray it. It works really well if you do it that way. If you mess it up, like you don't breathe right, or you breathe too soon and then you squirt it, it's just going to hit your mouth and go nowhere. So just do it over again. You can spray this repetitively, and it really doesn't matter. So that's how you do it. Make sure you always do it that way because you want to get your money's worth. Now, if you sprayed this for 24 hours and were better, then you could put it back into storage and it'll store for 9 months, and that's on the label here. But what's very important is you got to pull the sprayer out. You can put it back in the plastic bag, put the cap back on, and stick it in the fridge. It'll be good for 9 months, and then at the next time you got to use it, which is the next time some carrier monkey hacks in your face at work, you can go home, do a cycle of spraying, and you'll be good to go. Now, what do we mean by cycles of spraying? Well, it's on the side of the bottle, but more detailed explanation is warranted. So you have to repetitively spray Ksk to make it work. And so you'll see on the instructions, you do 2 squirts in each nostril, 2 in the mouth, every 5 minutes for a half an hour. And the main reason for that is it only lasts about 5 to 10 minutes and washes away. So if you don't respray, your kill time is too short. The concept in microbiology and medicine about killing off germs is something we call kill time, and that is the exposure time of the antibiotic, whatever it is, or in this case, a natural germicidal agent, to the germ. So by spraying this way for a half an hour at a time, you get that 30-minute kill time, and it vastly reduces the number of germs before they get into your body, and that's why you get better. So you do this 30-minute spray cycle, and you do it 3 to 6 times a day like it says on the bottle. And then when you're done spraying, you put the black cap on. Now, you don't have to change this out between cycles. That means once you're done, you don't recap it, put it back in the fridge, and then a half hour later. A lot of people, it's great if you have a shirt pocket, or women just throw it in their purse, and you set your phone alarm, and every 5 minutes it goes off, and then after half an hour, you just put it back away, throw it back in your pocket, leave the sprayer in, and then you just keep spraying for that 24 to 36 hours, 48 hours, and you're done. If you do this 3 times a day, you get about 2.5 days out of it, and then it's done. And then you can just throw it all away. So, just to recap the important points. Always when you open a new bottle or it's been stored for a while, when you take off the black cap, put the sprayer pump in, 2 squirts into the air, like that. It's very important because the solution will change while it's in the sprayer. And if you spray it in your nose after it's been stored, it's going to burn. So if you like it to burn, well, knock yourself out. But we don't recommend it. Prime it in the air always after storage. And then you have to be good about the cycles. I know it seems like a pain in the butt, but if you don't like cold and flu symptoms, then set your phone alarm and do it. Every 5 minutes for a half an hour, you're good to go. So, as we just talked about with KSK, the basic instructions of how to use it, there's also custom ways to do it. Over the last 2 years, we've learned some variations of this. The first variation is, if the spray doesn't burn in your nose, and you're a typical male that's not too hot about repetitive spraying like this, you can spray it more aggressively. The spray can't hurt you. You could spray the whole bottle in a couple hours and it wouldn't matter. It's a salt solution, so at some point it becomes irritating to your nose. But in the throat, it really never irritates. So if you just have a sore throat, a lot of people get a cold and they really notice it more as just a sore throat. The symptoms are here. And so the bottle shows you the instructions that if it's a sore throat only and you don't have any sinus troubles, you just do 3 squirts in the mouth every 5 minutes for half an hour and you're done. But you can spray it 5-6 times in the throat. And the technique is important because usually sore throats alone have to do with the throat, the pharynx, and the tonsils. And so what you do is the same thing. You put it in your mouth, bite your teeth, but you aim it a little bit towards the right tonsil, 3 times, 3 squirts, and then you aim it this way. So same thing, exhale, and then... And if you can breathe deep enough, you can do all 3 at once. I didn't quite get it done there. Dork, what can I say? And the same thing, 3 this way. And you'll feel it hit the tonsils, and you'll be amazed how quickly you get relief. A lot of people, the very first sign of a sinus or throat problem is this tickly irritation around your tonsils. That's what happens to me. Every time I can tell when I've been in the presence of a carrier monkey, because an hour or 2 later, my tonsils start bugging me. And so I go home and spray this 4 or 5 times, actually on each tonsil, and you can do that. And I do it again maybe in 10 minutes, and I'm done. 2 cycles, 5 or 10 minutes apart. You don't get sick. It just stops it right there. But if you're full-blown into a sore throat, you're going to have to do a half-hour cycle like everything else. Some people, too, the spray doesn't irritate their nose at all, and you can do 3 squirts in each nostril, 3 in the mouth, and then you can do it every 10 minutes for like three times. Some people do it like for an hour straight, every 5 minutes for an hour straight, a couple squirts in each nostril, and then you can do that once in the morning. You can do it around dinner 2 times a day, and it works very well. The basic rule is you can spray it all you want until it starts burning your nostrils, and then you got to back off. And sometimes, well, there's just a lot of variability here. So the burning is a hint. That means you've gotten too much salt solution in there. It doesn't hurt you. I've tried every kind of experimental thing with me and some of my colleagues. We've had some monster strong stuff that really burned after a while, burning through a couple bottles a day. It isn't necessary, but you're free to follow the instructions and vary it. It says that on here you can do it up to 6 times a day. Whether it's 2, 3, or 4 squirts is up to you.